Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of our as yet untitled Star Wars Twitch stream show. I am your host, Jedi Master Ecom Nuos, and with us, as always, is Jedi Master Johnny D. Say hello.
Hello, Master Newhouse, and hello, everybody. Thanks for joining.
So how are you tonight, Jedi Master Johnny D?
Good. This is an exciting night because this is
the night
that we finish Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords.
Yes.
So yeah,
apologies to our viewers out there that we are starting a little late, but I got stopped by some guy trying to sell me death sticks, and I had to help him think about his life decisions. But I think we're good to go. What do we got to look forward to here, John?
Well, I guess we got the grand finale, so but we do have some activities first that we're going to do. We're going to look at the work desk or whatever workstation, and we'll look at some of the gear because we might as well check that out before this all ends. Let me just do the sound check here. You're able to hear
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
I can hear you through the party chat.
I can hear me. The question is, and I can hear you. That's good, because we would hate to not have you, Master Newhouse, during this final adventure here. So yeah, we're gonna get going here. We'll get to some. This will be probably a shorter episode because I know we're pretty close to the end, and I did a bit of scouting ahead, so I know how close we are. But we do have some time for some to check with the workstation, the gear. Do some battling. There's some guys we can battle just to try out our new gear, and then talk about some, a little bit of news and topics. So that's kind of the itinerary tonight. So yeah, for now, we're going to find the work desk so we can check out the loot that we got from Darth Sion, who we defeated last episode. And I was able to figure out where the heck to find that stuff. So we can get and look at, I think it's like a Pontic lens, Solari crystal, things like that. And we can look at all the other loot I have and fiddle around with our lightsaber, and you can look at stuff and Newhouse, and maybe there's interesting lore things in the items, because there's lots of good content that the writers have put in this game. So since this is the last episode for this game, we might as well check some stuff out before we say goodbye and then move on to the Star Wars The Old Republic MMORPG. So yeah.
That sounds fantastic. Yes, I recall, like you said, you picked up some lenses and some other things last time when we defeated Darth Sion, so being that it is so late in the game, I'm sure, like you mentioned then, that they have to be pretty darn useful, and
yes,
you're going to use them in your final battle.
Yeah, they are, because I did a bit of fiddling and I did a bit of looking at first, so I do know there's some good stuff. So you probably you haven't played these games in a while, but yeah, this is the workbench, and you can actually do a bunch of different things in KOTOR 2. You can actually like break down items and get components and do like crafting. So it's like Minecraft before Minecraft, but we won't go that deep into things. We'll go to
I'm sure we'll be getting into that in the Old Republic itself, being as how it's an MMORPG rather than just a traditional RPG. There will be even more items and things to collect and upgrade and stuff in that game, because that's how they get you.
Yeah. Oh, you can maybe you can buy stuff. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know how they do it. I'm trying not to learn. I know nothing about the game, and I'm going to try to keep in the dark for it so we can kind of discover it together over time. Maybe eventually I'll start researching stuff, but I want to go in pretty dark so we can kind of, see how things are going. But let's focus on what we got here right now. So here's all our stuff. So yeah, we have, we're going to look at the lightsaber. So yeah, this is of course where you can do all your different tweaking of things. I don't know how you move to the different OYs, how you change between all the different items. We're just going to worry about the lightsaber, which I have equipped. So yeah, this is my makeup right now, and you actually see it more when you see it broken down like this. I know you'll be a bit behind Newhouse, but just eventually you'll be able to see it, but I'll describe things so the audience can kind of see things. So yeah, you got 6 slots. Looks like there's 3 crystal slots, a lens, a deflection emitter, and an energy cell. So those are the kind of things that go into your lightsaber. The interesting thing
Right.
with the crystals is they gave you something called, oh, I didn't realize that, it's called a Johnny D crystal. Okay, I for some reason thought the Johnny, it's basically your name because it's a special
Right.
crystal you get because you find your old lightsaber. I think is how it works. I for some reason thought actually there was no buffs from it, but actually it looks like I do get some down here.
+1 dexterity, +1 strength, +2
Yeah,
wisdom.
The reason why this is interesting, I'm going to go back here because actually I was also looking at how you can see everything in the inventory, and what I didn't realize is you can see. I think you can see all the crystals here too. Let's see. Hold on. There's the inventory. I'll have to go all, I think, but there's or maybe it's usable. That's where you can see all the crystals. Oh no, is it miscellaneous? Yeah, here we go. There's all this list here. And
right.
so so there's the, so you can do colors. Colors don't do anything. They're just the colors. So there's no stats changes, but you can choose
No
it.
stats. There is a purpose behind the colors of certain lightsabers, and we can get into that later if we need to. But
yeah.
So I mean, there is actually a canon reason why by the time the High Republic is done and we are in the prequel trilogy timeline, that there are no more yellow lightsabers, and that is because, well, I mean that would be a 2-hour stream all on its own getting into that. So
yeah. Well, we'll spend.
But basically, the Jedi never used to be so against exploring the dark side of the Force, knowing that, like, for balance, you need to use both sides of the Force, and it's possible to use the dark side of the Force without becoming evil and corrupt like the Sith. Just because you use the dark side of the Force doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a Sith. There are dark Force users who aren't even necessarily evil. But as the High Republic went along and the Jedi tried to distance themselves from that, they thought that even learning about the dark side of the Force was wrong and forbidden, and that is one of the reasons why you no longer see yellow lightsabers in that timeline, because lightsaber are powered by the, oh my gosh, what's the name of the crystal? I can't believe I'm brain farting on the name of the crystal right now. But anyway, the crystal that powers a lightsaber, it has a connection to the Jedi that discovers it. And they don't choose the color of the crystal itself. The crystal itself chooses it because they are a conduit to the Force. And so, yes. Anyways, I'll stop right now because, anyways. Yes.
Yeah,
so what else we got here?
Definitely someday we'll go more into that. So okay, so I figured out where you can get the descriptions here. So yes, so there's definitely a lot going on with colors, but here they just say it glows faintly with an inner blue light. And here it says it glows faintly with an inner green light. And here it says it glows faintly with an inner yellow light. The interesting thing though is I didn't realize that Viridian is a silvery green color. I did not know that. Did you know that Viridian is a color that is silvery green?
I did not know Viridian was a color, so no, I did not know that.
Well, anyway, I mean, it sounds. I mean,
if you had asked me what Viridian was, I would have been like on the table of periodic elements. I don't know. I never would have guessed it was a color.
I'm tempted. I mean, I didn't see. I got yellow, eh? So I have yellow.
Like Bondar. What is Bondar?
Okay, so that's where they actually have cool stats. So Bondar is this crystal was mined on a far orbit asteroid circling the Alderaan system. It produces a volatile lightsaber beam that pulses on impact, potentially stunning an opponent. And so it's got like a stun buff. Okay. Huh, and so then we have Pontite. Yeah, so this is where they actually have the descriptions. So Pontite, I think this is one I found on Scion. So Pontite is one of the rarest forms of Adagon crystal. It radiates a powerful aura that cools both skin and tempers. So it's got a cold damage. And it also makes your charisma go up too, because I guess it's so cool. I don't know. And then Solari, this one actually is probably the one I'm going to use because actually this one's got I think better than what I have right now. And this also was on Scion. So this is so Pontite was interesting because they say it's rare, so that's why it's important. And then Solari, no, I think Pontite is the lens I got. So I have to find out what the Pontite lens is. I got that somewhere else though. Solari I got off Scion. And this one is, there are many famous lightsaber crystals spoken of in history of the Jedi Order, an artifact of true light side power. Only those Jedi who are pure in spirit can wield a lightsaber equipped with this gleaming white gem. When the great Jedi Master Ood Banar initiated his life cycle change after 1,000 years of serving the Order, he must have been like a Yoda type creature.
Yes.
He bequeathed the Solari crystal to his most promising student, a young female Jedi named Shayla Noor. When Shayla disappeared shortly after the time of the Great Hunt, the Solari crystal vanished with her. Oh, so I was basically looking for people who were participated in the Great Hunt, which was a middle part of the game. We didn't see it in this playthrough, but it's basically, there's like these force kind of these monsters that are legendary because they basically the force doesn't infect them, so they basically will kill Jedi really easily. So the Jedi wanted to hunt them down, and so these people went and they disappeared because they all died at the hands of these giant monsters. And then I defeated the monsters, and that's probably well, maybe I found some crystal. I thought I found this one on Sion, so maybe he found them from one of these monsters as well. So anyway, the good thing about this one,
very quickly, just to redeem myself, since I spaced on it earlier, it's a Kyber crystal. Kyber is the name of the crystal that powers a lightsaber, which is also the name of the crystal that they used to power the Death Star. But anyways, carry on.
Oh yeah, that's good to know. That makes sense. So anyway, so this one's pretty good because it's got damage +3 and attack +3. Cool. So anyway, so I have yellow.
And a special buff against dark side, it says, too. Correct?
Yeah. So that's why I'm going to use it. And I can use it because I'm a total light Jedi, even though occasionally I get kind of nasty. But I'm still like, I think I'm pretty full on. Where's my status here? I'm actually, I used to be like full on light, where I was shining and gleaming. Over time, I've kind of darkened up. I moved down. So yeah, I guess some of the dialogue choices probably weren't too light sidey, eh?
Well, you were also using some dark side powers as well.
Yeah, that's
it would only make sense if you're tapping into the dark side for your battles, that it would reduce your connection to the light side of the Force.
Yeah. All right, so let's pick it up here. So so yellow. You're saying so yellow. I wasn't following fully, but I mean, I'll always, when I rewatch, I'll learn more. But you're saying yellow was kind of like a light side kind of thing, right?
Yellow means that you can commune with both sides of the Force.
Okay, so
right?
That makes sense.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's try Viridian just to see what it looks like. Because why not? So the thing about the Johnny D crystal, I didn't realize it had buffs because I didn't look down there. But the interesting thing about it is I like the description. It says, the light crystal is bound to Johnny D. Its power reflects that of its master. So that must mean it gives you stats. It says neutral. And then it must pick these stats, I'm guessing, based on how you've been playing the game. That's my guess, right? And so it's giving me good dexterity, good strength, and a lot of wisdom, I guess, and light side for it's a damage +1 if I'm light side. I don't know. Anyway, I might be able to get a better crystal in that slot, but because it's got my name on it, I'm going to keep it, and I've been okay with my lightsaber. But the damage,
you kind of have to. That'd be like having a sandwich named after you and then not eating the sandwich that was named after you, right?
Yeah,
come on.
yeah, for sure. This one's got attack 3, but the Solari, which I got, actually has +3 plus all the other perks too. So it is definitely a better crystal. So that's hands down a good decision. The Dragite lens has got damage +2. Oh, you can see how it changes on the side here too, right? Because did it go 725 and then where is it? What was it? Bondar? Damin? Oh, see, it's 422 energy. When I go to the Solari, it's like 725. So that's awesome. Dragite lens damage 2. So I think this Pontite lens is better. Oh yeah, look at this damage bonus at 2-12. That seems better. Look at that damage 735. Holy cow. Okay. So that's why it's gonna be fun to fight, because there's a bunch of guys to fight still. And I bet you I'm going to cut through them even faster than I did before. So that's going to be exciting. The improved deflector emitter. I have an advanced disrupting emitter. That sounds even better. But let me see. Oh, but this one has... It seems like it's... Oh, there's a disrupting and a deflecting. Anyway, I'm okay. I'll just keep my deflecting because there's a lot of guys shooting at me. I think it seems there's still a lot of commandos out there. Ion energy cell.
Just be mindful, Johnny D. Remember, you're getting a little excited. An adventure, excitement. A Jedi craves not these things.
Oh, but I'm like Mr. Neutral Jedi, so I'm like all over the place. All right. So, but yes, that's why you're here, Master Nuas, to try to calm me down, try to set my path on the right way. So, but I think it's more exciting for the fans if I'm all crazy about my Jedi lightsaber stuff. So, let's do it for the fans. Okay, so we got an improved ion energy cell. That sounds better than energy cell, so let's go with that. I don't know what a Telgorn Jolt Cell Mark II is. That sounds interesting. That's 1 to 4. What's the description? This power cell modifies the energy output of lightsabers, blah, blah, blah. I like it when they have little stories sometimes, but these ones don't. They're just straight up just technical stuff. So we're going improved. Yeah, okay. So that's a kind of crazy. I'm not sure I'm into that color. What do you think of that color there, Master Nuos? Supposed to just traditional yellow.
It doesn't.
It's not doing it for me.
Do it for me.
Yeah, let's go back to yellow. Yeah, yellow's the way. Yellow's the way. All right. There you go. Okay, cool. So another thing I found out, because I actually did some loading of the games, and I found some loot on a body here, and I realized actually sometimes the loot changes. So it must be like a dice roll. It's kind of a bummer, because one time I got a really good robe when I was like kind of doing some experimentation with scouting ahead, and I didn't get it this time. I got a Jedi Knight robe, so that's too bad, because the robe I got before was like a Matuki, because I have what do I got here? I have it is called a Matukai apprentice robe, and it was a Matukai master robe, so it was much better. And I don't know if you've heard of the Matukai, but
no,
the Matukai are a group of Force sensitives who use their physical body to channel the Force. The balance of the physical and spiritual is the cornerstone of their philosophy. We might have mentioned them before, but anyway, there they are. But this robe's pretty good, so even an apprentice robe is good. It's got strength, because I like to have strength. That's why I'm so good with my attacks, is I just go all in on strength. Dexterity is good too, so anyway, I definitely have improved since the last time I was fighting, so it should be good to try to fight some guys. So what we're going to do now, Newhouse, is maybe these are the remains that has the good robe. No, Dust Shades Sonic Blaster. So what we're going to do now is we're going to save, and so we were actually right by the entrance to the final area where you meet Kreia. So actually, we were really
when it looked like there was still half the map was.
So what it is the other half of the map is that's basically just there's just two ways you can get to the same spot. So it's I don't know why they did it that way. It's just maybe when I went through the other way a bit, it seemed like it actually might have been harder. So maybe it's kind of like luck of the draw. I don't know. But it
could also have been a case where they had more planned and ran out of time. And
okay, spoiler, a little preview. When we talk about the ending, we'll talk a bit about the game, because I've actually done a bit of research on the game now. And this is the wrong way. But for now, we'll get to the end when we get through some fighting, just to try out my new gear. So we'll do some fighting, but now, let's move on to the podcast part of the stream. Let's talk about some of the any topics that you have of interest, news items, anything like that that you'd like to
for sure
discuss.
There's a few things out there that I'd definitely like to mention, but I'm going to throw it out there, because in your subconscious, as we play through this here tonight and you do finish the game, I do want to get your summarization at the end when you finish it about your how you feel about KOTOR and KOTOR II compared. Because part of when all of this started was, I think you had played through KOTOR at least 2 times since it had been released, and you hadn't played through this one in a long time. And I was mentioning how I felt like this game, the combat was perhaps a little better, but the story not so much. So anyway, I just kind of want to get your evaluation on that when we're done here.
Yes,
that's fair too.
There's most likely a credit scene, so we can definitely discuss the games during the credit scene, or the credits.
All right.
Because the credits will be basically like all these games, especially back in this age, the golden age really of Star Wars games, they would do like a full blown like end of movie credits, right? Where it's like the Star Wars theme just full blast going on for like 5 minutes, right? And there's always a lot of people that work on these games too. So of course,
we got to pay them respect. That is getting live streamed as well because they deserve it.
No, I forget. I'm lost though. I freaking this is without the. So yeah, you bring up your topics while I try to figure out where to go, but eventually we'll get to the battling.
While you catch your bearings and figure out get orientated here, a couple of big Star Wars news this week is first thing I'll get into is Mandalorian and Grogu, as we discussed 1 week ago, has an official release date now.
Oh, okay. What is that?
That has been penciled in for May 22nd, 2026.
All right. Run your calendars, everybody.
I was already excited to hear about this movie. I don't think we actually mentioned it last time.
Sorry, here's something cool. Here's something cool. Oh. I got the Matukai Adept robe. So it was there. It's not a random roll. I just didn't find the right body parts. So that's cool. So now we'll get back into that date for the Mandalorian movie. But first we'll just go and get my new robe on, which now is +2 Constitution, +2 Dexterity, +2 Strength. So this is... Yeah, that's cool. I love getting some more strength, baby. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah.
Happy day. Yeah. Daddy's got a new robe.
He does.
Because last week we did clarify that the Mandalorian Grogu is not the Dave Filoni project. That is a separate project. The one thing we did not discuss is that Mandalorian and Grogu is being directed by Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
So he will be writing and directing that movie, and for me, the fact that it's over 2 years away as of the time of this stream, I mean, they're giving that, they're not rushing it. They're giving it lots of time.
That's good. Yeah.
Right? Like it will basically have had a 3-year production time, just like the Lucas Star Wars movies did. Because
it's not like they already set up, right? Yeah.
Exactly, right? So, yeah, I think that's fantastic news. So yes, everybody, Mandalorian and Grogu will be in theaters May 22nd, 2026, which will be just over 49 years.
Oh! I just took that guy out super fast with my new lightsaber. Nice. Holy cow! I'm cutting these guys like butter now.
He didn't even see it coming.
Yeah, this is gonna be a slaughter.
So yes. Also in Star Wars news this week, unexpectedly, a trailer dropped.
Oh,
the new
surprise
Star
trailer.
Wars surprise trailer for Tales of the Empire, which will be premiering on Disney Plus in June.
Tales of the Empire. I've never heard of that. Have you?
Well, yes and no. Everyone thought it was going to be Tales of the Jedi Season 2. If you're not familiar.
Okay. Tales
of the Jedi, it was a 6-part show that came out last year, and basically the genesis of this is it is Dave Filoni's little pet project, right? Basically, like, Disney came to him and was like, would you be interested in making any sort of shorts or anything, because they need Disney Plus content, right? So he's just been he used the first season. He did 3 episodes about Ahsoka Tano, and he did 3 episodes about Jedi Master Dooku, because this is before it was about how Dooku went from being a Jedi Master to becoming a Sith Lord. That's what his story arc was over the 3 episodes. And Ahsoka, her 3 episodes were quite good as well. So yeah, it's a sequel series to that. This time, the 2 characters that he will be focusing on is Morgan Elsbeth. She is getting 3 episodes. So
why do I know that name? Why do I know that name?
She was the character from Mandalorian and Ahsoka, who appeared to have died in the final episode of the first.
Was she the witch kind of.
Yes, she's the witch. So this is going to explore her background, how she grew up as a Night Sister of Dathomir, and then later how she meets Grand Admiral Thrawn, and their relationship is formed. So we're going to get all of that backstory for her character. And the second character that they're focusing on is, now this is where I get into the Dave Filoni pet project. It's Barriss Offee. Now, Barriss Offee was a character created for the Clone Wars. She was the apprentice of Jedi Master Luminara Undie. Luminara Undie was a character that featured in all three prequel movies. I don't remember if she was on the Jedi Master Council or not, but she did have screen time. She's a green-skinned character. But the importance of this is, okay, I'm going to have to try and sum this up because it's, I'm talking like 8 years of storylines here when I talk about things that happened on the Clone Wars, right?
Yeah. You have to have special episodes slotted and organized for when we'll bring those. You can do long lectures on each of those areas.
I think it's just going to have to be, this is ammunition for my opinion that we should do a Clone Wars rewatch where we could discuss these things. Cause,
well, like I said, when we actually get Star Wars fans, and then we'll be like, hey, do you guys want us to do that? And I hear people say, yes, do it. And then, of course, I will do it in a second.
Okay.
But I'm not going to commit until we actually get fans.
That is fair, Johnny D. That is fair. Okay, so Barriss Offee was a character. Okay, you know how Ahsoka Tano at the start of her show was no longer a Jedi? She left the Jedi Order back in Season 5 of Clone Wars because the Jedi Council... Oh, not the Jedi... What's the name of the place on Coruscant where the Jedi hang out?
Like the Jedi Temple, or...
The Jedi Temple, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, in the fourth season of the Clone Wars, the Jedi Temple was bombed. Ahsoka Tano was framed. She was kicked out of the Jedi Order by the Jedi Council. She was sentenced. She was found guilty. The only person who believed in her was Anakin Skywalker. So there was a 4-episode story arc where he went to prove that Ahsoka did not do this bombing. And in the end, it was discovered that it was this Barriss Offee character. She was the Padawan to Jedi Master Luminara Undie, and she had become disillusioned with the Jedi, and she was the one who bombed the temple, and she set up Ahsoka to take the fall and all of that. So the last time this character was seen was at the end of that story arc where she had been arrested. So nobody knew what ended up happening to her afterwards. We knew she wasn't dead. We just knew that it had been discovered that she was the one who'd committed the crime and that she had been arrested for it. So now we're finally going to get to see that story of what happened to that character, and as was revealed in the trailer, she does go on to become an Inquisitor. So I'm all in. I like both of these characters. I'm curious to see where the storyline goes.
And it's called Tale of the Empire?
Tales of the Empire. 6 episodes. Now, why all of this is relevant is I think this is going to have very large story implications for what will happen in Ahsoka Season 2.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I think there's a reason, like, this is all Filoni's writing this. It's all him. And being that Ahsoka is his, and he's writing and directing that, and he's writing and directing the future Mando movie that will be coming out sometime after 2026. I don't think this is just him having fun. This is him laying seeds, and I expect that both of these characters will be present moving forward in Filoni Star Wars storytelling. So, and the trailer is phenomenal.
Here's something cool. Let's look at, like, I just like slaughtered a whole. Oh, there's 2 of these guys. It's just funny how there's like just these 2 lonely Sith commandos hiding in the corners here, and they have to deal with this freaking crazy Jedi. So we're gonna toy with this guy a bit. We're gonna like unequip the weapon. We're gonna do this deflecting thing some more just for funsies there. I wonder if I could actually like punch the laser blast into his face.
Yes, no. Do it.
I can't do it, but I still deflect them. Okay, so now we're gonna try. We haven't tried things like mind control. Let's try that on this guy. See what happens there. Let's go mind.
And what does the actual description of mind control do? I would assume it's something like he begins attacking his friends.
Oh yeah, I think the advanced one does it, but he's got no friends, so he's not gonna do anything. So, what else can we do here? Oh, mind trick. Is there mind? Yeah, mind trick is the only thing I have. I don't know if there's anything else I can do here. What else should I do here? Throw grenades at him? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we're just gonna
grenade, red king.
Feel the power of the dark side. Okay, well that was fun. Okay, so back to what you were talking about there, Nuance.
Well, I was basically wrapping up there, but yeah.
All right, so yeah, you got any more? Sorry, what was that?
I was gonna say, I recommend going and checking out the trailer for the show because it looks phenomenal.
Yeah, cool.
Go ahead.
I was saying, so do you have any other topics on deck for tonight?
Oh, I do have one other thing I wanted to bring up.
All right, we got time
it's
for
not
one
Star
more.
Wars related, but...
Yeah, let's do it. We got I think we got enough fights for one more topic before we go to the finale.
All right, well, everybody, if we got time for one more, I am going to quickly veer away from a long time ago in a galaxy far away to the galaxy that we live in, far, far into the future, more specifically the 34th century, because I watched the first episode of the 5th and final season of Star Trek Discovery. And oh boy, Jedi Master Johnny D, have I got things I need to talk to you about.
Ooh, I just like one-shotted all those guys. So, is that like that sounds like a long conversation?
Well, it's a long conversation, but it's not.
Okay.
I think I'm more curious to hear what you have to say about this than what I have to say about it, and I'm the person who watched it, so this conversation is going to be in your heads.
Yeah, let's spend some time talking about it. Just also warning to everyone, we're always going to be blurting out spoilers. We'll try to give spoiler alert here, so I guess you'll probably say some spoilers about the show. I'm good with any spoilers about the show, Newhouse, so you go on ahead and take us away.
Well, unfortunately, this conversation can be had, and it's a spoiler that's only about what I am guessing is the story direction of the entire season. So yes, I will spoil a little bit of the first episode. But John, I know you and I have talked specifically about an old episode of the Star Trek: The Next Generation in the past, more than once. This episode is from the 6th season of The Next Generation, which introduced some insane concepts to Gene Roddenberry's universe which Star Trek kind of tends to do. They threw it out there and just never talked about it ever again. Despite it being like the most mind-blowing thing that you would think would be pretty darn important, but nope, they never talked about it again. You have any idea, John, what 6th season episode I could be talking about?
Are you talking about the 6th season that I think we probably talked about probably pretty recently after it came out because we knew each other back then, right? Was that the one where they like fall asleep and then they have like these horrible nightmares of these crazy robed aliens who are like doing like autopsies on them and stuff like that?
That is a crazy episode, but no. What I'm talking about as something.
Okay, because that episode, just before you go into your episode, is they were always like were foreshadowing. They're like at the end, they're like, and maybe they will be, because they were like beings from another galaxy. They thought they definitely were more advanced. They didn't know who they were, and they're like, and maybe they'll come back again. Bum bum bum, and that was the end of the episode. I was like, oh, they're going to be building up the big bad for season 7, and then the aliens never showed up. So yeah, anyway, so 6th season. I thought that's not it. Okay, well, anyway, so what was
this episode? This episode, if you thought that Wesley Crusher being taken away by a being known as the Traveler and becoming omnipotent was crazy, the episode I'm talking about is 10 times crazier than that. You have to know what I'm talking about now. With that
I can't remember.
Okay,
I can't remember.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you.
Episodes besides that other one.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to tell you what happened in Star Trek Discovery. Then, okay?
Okay.
Find
sure.
okay, so far in this season of Discovery, it appears that David Cronenberg has become a regular, and he's hanging out on the verge of Discovery, which is,
like
hey man, more
filmmaker
Cronenberg.
David Cronenberg.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Oh wow.
Also a series regular now. First
That sounds like a
introduced
great
in
way
this
to
season,
spend your retirement, man. Just doing Star Trek.
right? And so in this. Also new to the season is Mr. Billy Talent himself, Callum Keith Rennie, is a Federation captain who is now also a season regular
That's
for
awesome,
this 5th and final season.
Canadian favorite Canadian actors of ours. That's cool.
So Cronenberg's character in the show, I'm not even really sure exactly what he is. Like, he's some high-level scientist, and in this episode, he gives them a mission that even the director of Starfleet doesn't know what the mission. It's called a red directive, so it's like super classified. So they get sent to find this 800-year-old Romulan warbird that has something on it. So when they get there, they find the corpse of this 800-year-old Romulan scientist on there. They go back. I'm generalizing here just to get to the point. Anyway, you see clips of Jean-Luc Picard on a planet with some Cardassians, some Klingons, and some Romulans. And the Romulan that they find was one of the Romulans that was on this planet with Jean-Luc Picard over 800 years ago. Any bells ringing here, John, about what episode I'm talking about? No? Well, it turns out...
No. I mean, I remember him. I thought there was they had to team up or something because they crash land. No, that sounded like somebody else. That was like Jordy had to do that. I thought. Anyway,
the story,
I totally do not know what you're talking about.
I'm going to stop with the theatrics, and I'm just going to tell you what the storyline for the final season of Discovery is.
Sure, yeah.
There was a Romulan scientist that 800 years ago met the creators of every humanoid species in our universe called the progenitors.
Oh,
and now
about that episode,
this
there was the race. They did the race to find them, right? The progenitors, right? Yes. Okay, so it's a throwback to that episode.
It's a throwback to this episode, and so this Romulan
is that
scientist,
the 6th season episode you're talking about?
That's the 6th season episode I'm talking about. So the Romulan from that episode, he found the device that the progenitors used to create every single universe. And so now this device is out there.
Every single universe, every single species.
Every species, yes. So right now the mission is Discovery is racing around the universe trying to locate this device that was created by basically our gods. And so
this is in the future. This is in the 30th century, right?
Yes, because you remember the 3rd season of Star Trek Discovery, they jumped ahead 1,000 years. So this is all happening in the 34th century, not the 25th century.
Okay, wow, sounds pretty epic.
It is, yeah, man, and it was awesome. And I was so excited when I saw that. Like, I can't believe, like, that's a huge thing that they did back then, right? That was a crazy episode.
Yeah. Well, speaking of epic, or maybe anti-epic, I think we're about ready for the end game here at US, unless you have any last thoughts on that Discovery. But it sounded pretty cool, so you definitely were happy with that ending. So.
I was happy with the whole episode, yeah. I mean, it was a great episode from the start. Seeing David Cronenberg, and then, holy cow, Callum Keith Rennie's on this show now, and and then I saw that that's what it's going to be about. Like, this is amazing, yes.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, yeah, we'll definitely, Star Trek, we'll be talking about that as well.